Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Artem Chuprin. I love talking about financial growth and independence. I still remember the time I had to pay for gas with coins. So this happened shortly after I was married. We were pretty broke at this point. We were scraping the bottom of the barrel. We have no money in our bank account, no savings, and I needed money to get to work on my little car. I had a Toyota Corolla, so it doesn't take a lot of money for gas. But I didn't even have enough money for that. So I had to scrounge together the coins from my piggy bank and take this handful of coins to a gas station and pay for gas with coins. It was the most embarrassing thing ever. The teller or the person at the cashier told me I had to stand there and count out every single coin. It took forever. It was very embarrassing and demeaning, but it was like $9.87 for gas with coins, a whole ton of pennies. That's all I could afford to get gas. Maybe you have a similar experience. I'd love to hear about it. But what I wanted to do, starting this YouTube channel, is help people not get into that financial situation. So now, 10 years later, what has changed in my life? Why am I excited about finances? Why do I want to talk to you guys about money? Why do I want to talk about investing? Because it has changed my life. So I wanted to make this video just kind of to talk about why I started this YouTube channel. This video is going to be a little bit more off the cuff, kind of me ranting a little bit on why personal finance is a topic that I wish people would spend more time with. I wish our schools would teach about. But the basic principles of finance are very often neglected. They're neglected in the classroom, at public schools. They're neglected at home. Parents do not talk about money with their kids. It's a big taboo subject. The only interaction I had with money is my parents would have arguments or tense moments about money. My dad would want to spend on this and my mom wouldn't be okay with that. And there would be tension in the house between them because of money. So I always thought, you go to work, you make money, you spend money, and that's all there is to it. So when I got married, I got a job as a nurse, but I was only bringing home like $1,100 every 2 weeks. Not a whole lot of money, but rent was cheap at that time. And we would go out to eat. Whatever money we had coming in was all the money that we would spend. I didn't even have a savings account. After that day at the gas station, my wife and I, we sat down and we started to talk about money. She was raised in a household where she was exposed to saving, putting money away, planning or budgeting for future expenses. I had no such ideas at all. I just grew up spending money. And here we are, literally broke, penniless, used up the last of my money for gas. So after work, I came home and we sat down and we started talking about finances. We started doing what's called the envelope system. It's not very exciting. All you do is when you get paid, you realize, okay, I'm gonna put $200 for food for the next 2 weeks, $200 for gas, or those are examples. And so when you go to the store and you spend those $200 on groceries and you got no more, guess what? No more groceries till the next paycheck. And this is how we lived for a while until we figured out how to get our finances under control. I'm not saying you have to budget, but at the same time, you have to realize where's your money going. We didn't know where our money was going, to the point where I had to go to the gas station with these coins and fill up my car. So we wanted to protect ourselves from that happening again. We didn't get rich overnight. We didn't start stockpiling a bunch of money. In fact, it was actually very slow. So over a couple years, we saved up a couple $1,000s. It took a very long time. And then before moving from Pennsylvania to Washington, which was a huge move for us, we had to save up some extra money. So we sold off our car, we sold off all our furniture, all the things that we had fully packed to move to Washington. Our grand total at this time of moving across the country, all we had saved up after selling everything was $10,000. So financially, we didn't make good choices. I didn't know anything about investing at this point. So I wanted to take my 401k from Pennsylvania and roll it over to my Washington job. I didn't realize that from 2008 to 2012, I had put in a decent amount of money, about $11,000. It had grown to about $12,000 while the market had doubled. So what happened was my employment was managing my money for a cost of like 2%. And I was making about 4 or 5%. They were taking 2% in order for me to make 5% while the market had doubled. This is when I realized I got screwed because I didn't know about investing. I didn't know anything about expense ratios. I didn't know what it meant when somebody else managed your money. I didn't know any of those things. I didn't know risk tolerance or any kind of financial jargon. So I started reading a lot. I started researching a lot. And I kind of went a little bit off the deep end into the stock market. My wife at one point, she used to call it the black hole because I kept putting more money into there, more money into there. But I won't bore you with too many of those stories. Financial, about 2 years ago, I finally realized what works in the market. Slow and steady wins the race. You consistently invest money into a good mutual fund or ETF, and no matter what, consistently keep putting money into there. I have a couple videos out about that. You guys can watch those, but this is what had happened to us. Just this year, I ended up being without a job. So for the last 3 months, I don't have any work. I don't get unemployment. I don't get any other money coming in. My wife works as a caregiver, but she has very limited hours. And people keep coming up to us and asking, how the heck are you guys surviving? Like, what's going on? What are you living on? I have a secret for you. The stock market is a huge wealth building machine. Not every year is going to be as good as the last 3 or 4 years. But over time, you can do amazing things through investing. Now, I have been saving between 30 to 40% of my income for the last 3 years. That's a very high number. But because of those 3 years that we have been investing very intensely, I'm basically semi-financially retired. So what's my goal with this channel? I'd love to grow this channel to help as many people as possible to learn about money, how money works, and just that slow and steady does win the race. It's not flashy, it's not exciting, and maybe I have lost some of you guys already in the video because of this lack of pizzazz and get-rich-quick schemes. But I wish you'd realize just how powerful the old-fashioned way of investing is. In 3 years, we have got to where we're semi-retired. 3 years, guys. That's insane. Why? Well, I did take some crazier risks when the opportunity came. So when COVID came around, we had ended up taking some money against the house because I knew when a market crashes, it might take 3, it might take 5 years, but it will move back up. So we put money into the market, not individual stocks, but into the market, and that money has more than doubled. So the things I have learned, I want to pass on to you. People around me are asking me how we live. People even ask if I'm a millionaire yet, or if we're rich, or if we have some kind of secret money somewhere, because I don't have a job and we're doing just fine. You don't know how close I am to that crazy $1 million mark, but my wife and I have realized that being a millionaire is not exactly what it's cracked up to be. I haven't gotten to that number yet. Not yet, but maybe it's soon. But I do want you guys to be aware. Those crazy financial goals, all you have to do is set them and set a plan on how you're going to achieve it. You will get there. If you take this journey, you don't take it lightly, but you become serious about it. What are your steps to getting there? You will get there. I guarantee you. Now, my wife and I, we're not trying to get rich. We're not trying to get wealthy, but we want to be able to make a big difference in this world before we die. I'm a Christian, and in the Bible, there's a story about a guy. He gives out to his servants some gold, different gold amounts. One guy gets 1 piece of gold, another guy gets 2, another guy gets 5 pieces of gold. And these servants are supposed to take that gold and multiply it for their master. And when the master comes back, the one lazy servant, he was afraid of his master, and he didn't multiply the gold. He didn't multiply the money. He let it sit in the ground. He didn't lose it, but he didn't do anything with it. That place in the Bible kind of speaks to me a lot more than maybe other people. I have a privileged position here in America. My family came as immigrants from the Soviet Union. My parents never had any kind of financial opportunities there. They ran away as refugees to America, to a land of opportunity. And I was born into this place of privilege. My parents are not wealthy. I didn't have money. I wasn't even taught about money growing up. But I was given the opportunity that pretty much anybody living in America has. You can learn. You can move forward. You can achieve a lot more than you realize. And for us, we have realized we're given this gold nugget, not just so we can have a good life, but so we can make that grow, teach other people along the way, and try and help as many people by being a blessing to them. So that's kind of a little bit more about my heart, guys. I'm being a little bit more open and honest with you guys. Our heart's not just to get a bunch of money, but we want to earn money in order to take that money and use it as a tool to help others. We have people in Ukraine and Moldova and other places that we support, and we're limited in how much we can do to those people. What we would love to see is for our opportunity to help, for that to multiply, to become a lot more. We want our life to benefit others. So this is my heart, just sharing with you guys kind of the purpose of what I'm doing in my life. I hope that you can achieve your purpose. You can figure out something that is worth sacrificing for and just pursuing that 100%. This year, 2021, is pretty much out. I don't know what 2022 is going to have in store for us. I don't know what it'll have in store for you, but I'm excited looking at the future. So I hope there's big, amazing things for you and for myself in the future. So as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. Wish you well. Love you guys. Artie out.